Let's be honest, for the money, the Brightin Star 12mm f2 is a very interesting lens. Let's review this. Fast, ultra-wide-angle, manual lens for APS-C cameras like Sony E-mount, Fuji-X, Canon-M and even Micro Four Thirds. Let's be real, it's not that big of a problem to get the focus on such focal length, just use the focus magnification and keep the distance from your object, as you can see in this example. The depth of field is pretty big, even at f2 and 1 meter distance from the object. And most of the time you'll be keeping the focus on an infinity, so it's a nice budget option. And as you can see, I brought it to Armenia, just have a look at this beauty. What's good guys, my name is Oleg Nikitin, you're watching No Limits On channel. And one more great thing that you can use this lens not only for APS-C cameras but also for full frame cameras like Sony a7 III in 4K with a crop mode Super 35 or with the Sony a7S III with a crop in Full HD or with clear image zoom with 1.5x crop, or like I did right here with the Sony a7 IV in 4K 60, which has an obligatory crop in 4K 60. Yeah, by the way, the Brightin Star company also did send me the full frame 50mm f0.95 lens, so review will be soon on the channel, stay tuned. And as a disclaimer, I have to say that the company did send me 2 lenses and I will keep those, but this is my own honest and pure opinion. Can I even say a pure opinion? You got me guys, let's keep going. So let's start off with the size and weight. As you can see, it's very compact and it weighs only 277 grams and it's made out of metal completely and feels really sturdy. The lens features 2 rings, the focusing ring and the aperture ring. They both turn very smoothly and without any clicks, which is good for video work, and also the focusing ring has about 90 degrees of rotation. Of course, this lens doesn't have any weather sealing, so be careful, and of course we don't get the weather sealing gasket on the mount, but the mount itself is made out of metal. For those of you guys who are curious, we have 9 groups and 12 elements and also the f2 to f22 aperture. The filter thread size is 62mm, which is nice, they are not that expensive, but you cannot put any adapters to this lens because the lens hood is built into the lens and it's made out of metal and you cannot simply attach anything to the front of this lens, so you have to buy a 62mm. And I don't own any 62mm filters, that is why in some test shots you'll see some overexposure. And now one of the most important parts, the sharpness, detail levels, distortion and vignette. As you can see right here, the distortion is really minimal, it's almost non-existent, which is great. The corner sharpness is not that great at f2, and at f4 it's getting much better. And the vignette is pretty strong till f4 as well. So guys, keep that in mind, if you want the sharpest corners and less vignette, you'll have to stop down to f4 at least. And now let's talk bokeh. This lens features a 10-bladed aperture, which is nice, and during the daylight we do see a creamy bokeh, very nice bokeh and out-of-focus backgrounds, and you definitely can get some out-of-focus backgrounds. As you can see right here, I'm standing at my arm's length from the lens. But when it comes to nighttime, when we see the headlights of cars and overall city illumination, we do see some crazy things going on with the bokeh. As you can see, we have some busyness inside of those circles, onion shapes, and overall not the best bokeh I've seen. It's a pretty average or below average performance, unfortunately. And one more disadvantage I see is that the light poles, for example, they do have some kind of glare around those till probably f4, so you have to keep that in mind, and I think this lens wouldn't be suitable for astrophotography because of this issue. Flares. They are very strong at f2, we see kind of rainbowy circles all over the place, but they do disappear at f2.8, f4, it's getting much better. But overall, if you want that look, if you want a lot of flares in your shots for some reason, that's a great option. If you don't want flares, it's not the best choice, so be careful with that, and the built-in lens hood, which is unattachable, is a great companion. Focus breathing does exist, it's not critical, and I've seen much worse results, so it's okay. The minimum focusing distance is 18 centimeters, which is not macro by any means, but it's more than okay. I thought it would be even worse, but we can get a little close to your subject. The chromatic aberrations are existent at f2, as you can see, but they are not too bad. and they are almost totally illuminated with f2.8, which is good, so if you're planning to shoot some branches against the sky, just close down the aperture to f2.8 and you'll be good to go. If your camera doesn't have built-in image stabilization or IBIS system, you'll have some troubles using this lens for sure, as you can see right here with the Sony a6300, which has an equivalent of about 18mm full frame. With this lens, it's pretty tough to stabilize it without anything, just holding it handheld and walking, so you have to use a gimbal if your camera doesn't feature an IBIS system. If it does, you just set the focal length manually and just live a happy life. So guys, now it's time to conclude. For the price, it's hard to expect something better or something incredible from this lens. We do have a Samyang, or it's also called Rokinon lens, 12mm f2, which used to cost $400. Now on B&H we can see that it costs $230, but it's a limited edition, so later on it will keep the price higher, much higher, and the Brightin Star 12mm f2 is only $190. So we don't have a lot of options in this price range and this focal length and brightness, to be honest. And if you desperately need a fast ultra-wide-angle APS-C lens and you know how to work around those drawbacks of this Brightin Star lens, it's a decent option. Not perfect, but decent. I would give it probably a 6.5 out of 10, considering the price, of course. And by the way, I will keep this lens for my Sony a6300 because I didn't have any APS-C ultra-wide-angle lenses, especially this fast, and I can see myself using this lens on a daily basis. So guys, what are your thoughts about this lens? Please share them in the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please smash the like and subscribe buttons as I say in my videos and hit the notifications bell. My name is Oleg Nikitin, No Limits On channel, and I see you guys in the next video. By the way, here are a few videos for you to watch next. See you guys. Take care. Bye.